As the Dallas Mavericks beat the Minnesota Timberwolves to enter the NBA Finals, we see a big contribution from the dynamic duo Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who are displaying exceptional chemistry and performance. They are one of the great duos that gave us strong impressions in this season. Now it's a perfect time to check the landscape and examine the best tandems the NBA has to offer heading into the 2023-24 season. 10. Joel Embiid and James Harden, Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid clearly had the better season of the two, winning MVP and his second straight scoring title with 33.1 points, 10.2 rebounds, 1.0 steals, and 1.7 blocks per game on 54.8% shooting. Harden backed him up perfectly as well with 21.0 points per game of his own, as well as a league-leading 10.7 assists per game. While they would be a little higher on this list if circumstances were different, the uncertainty of Harden's future drops them down to number 10. If they were to stay together, we would expect another great season from them, and in turn the 76ers as a whole. Unfortunately, we expect the drama and distraction to linger a little longer. After all, it is James Harden and the 76ers. 9. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, Los Angeles Clippers. It has been 3 seasons since we saw them both fully able to perform on the court, which ended in a 3-1 series lead being blown in the 2020 playoffs. Since that time, one or both of them have been injured when being healthy matters most in the NBA playoffs. This isn't to ignore what the case would be if they were able to play at full strength for the entirety of the season. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them in the top 10. George and Leonard are clearly two of the best two-way players in the NBA when at full strength and have led the Clippers to some of their best regular seasons ever. 8. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat. One of the duos who were finalists for the NBA championship in 2023 come in at number 8. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo completely exceeded expectations in 2022-23 when most had written them off by season's end. After fighting through the play-in, it was Butler and Adebayo who took control of the team and led them to the NBA Finals for the second time in 4 seasons. Butler and Adebayo are a near-perfect combination on the court. Butler is as clutch as it gets, and although streaky at times, provides so much as a leader and defensive stalwart that his shortcomings aren't nearly as impactful as his positive traits. Adebayo is arguably the most versatile defender in basketball, while also adding a more impactful offensive game to his repertoire that puts Miami over the top as a contender. At this point, there's a complete moron to not have faith in this Miami duo to compete for an NBA championship. They continue to prove all of the doubters wrong, and they continue to exceed those expectations. While many will believe they are reeling from losing out on Damian Lillard, these two will be in the lab working and keep on building the Heat culture that has become so likable in NBA circles. 7. Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, Golden State Warriors. The duo of the Splash Brothers Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry with the Golden State Warriors is still one of the best duos in the NBA. Sure, their 2022-23 season ended in disappointment, which led to a slight overhaul of their roster. While the West got better, the Warriors stayed stagnant other than adding a much older Chris Paul to their rotation. Still, a combination of two of the best three-point shooters in NBA history will always contend in today's NBA. The Golden State Warriors will pretty much rely on these two almost 10 years after their first NBA title to return to the top of the NBA mountain. There will be challenges along the way that make us question once again if their dynastic days are over. Just remember, we were really wrong about that in 2022. There is zero doubt that Curry and Thompson are capable of turning back the clocks and leading this Warriors team to great things. Combined in 2022-23, they made 576 three-pointers, which led the league by a mile for two teammates. That right there is evidence they can be a conference finalist at minimum when they are on their games. With all of the distractions out of town, this duo could have one more magical run left in them in 2023-24. 6. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, Dallas Mavericks. We may get a lot of heat for having a duo that missed the NBA playoffs in 2022-23 so high on this list, but nobody can deny the potential this team has on the court. First of all, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving were the highest scoring duo on the court last season, finishing with 59.5 points per game. Irving takes an immense amount of pressure off Doncic as a scorer, playmaker, and someone who can carry the team when he needs a rest, which is a luxury that Luka has rarely had in his career so far. With a full season and off-season under their belts, this duo could get Dallas back on track as a legitimate contender in the Western Conference. The most beautiful thing about it is that nobody is expecting them to, taking even more pressure off them. Doncic can easily play to his style and slow the game down as much as he wants with Kyrie on the court, while Irving is one of the best at breaking down defenses from the perimeter. It doesn't all fall on their shoulders, though. The other players around this elite duo need to step in and step up immediately. This backcourt is the best backcourt in the NBA, and it isn't particularly close. Now it is time to put up or shut up and get results. 5. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers. The duo kicking off our top 5 has an argument to be higher, but again, the when healthy bug strikes. There is no doubt that when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy and playing at their best, the Lakers are nearly unstoppable. Anthony Davis looks like a top 5 player in the NBA with elite rim protection and overall defense. LeBron James is still one of the best leaders and playmakers in the game when healthy as well. The only problem is consistently having them both in the lineup. Even as James struggled to shoot from 3 in this past NBA playoffs, the Lakers were able to ride Anthony Davis Davis's elite two-way play to the Western Conference Finals. When Davis fell victim to the inconsistencies, James stepped up and led the Lakers to victories. This duo is one of very few that have actually won an NBA title together on this list, and even as James gets ready to turn 39 in 2023, they remain an elite pairing. 4. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics. At number 4 on our list is another conference finalist from 2022 to 23, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. Over the last 6 seasons together, this duo has helped the Celtics reach 4 conference finals and 1 NBA finals while knocking on the door of an NBA championship. Despite their various shortcomings, they continuously defy expectations and lead their team to within arm's reach of their ultimate goal. Jayson Tatum is becoming one of the 10 best players in the NBA, while Jaylen Brown has become one of its better second options. Tatum made history in 2022 to 23 by becoming the first Celtics player to average over 30.0 points per game. Brown elevated his game on both sides of the ball as well, with stellar defense that went with 26.6 points and 6.9 rebounds per game. Looking ahead to 2023 to 24, it would be just plain ignorant to not think the Celtics are right back in the thick of things being led by this dynamic duo. Tatum is consistently getting better and improving his craft, while Brown just inked the largest deal in NBA history. With Boston's confidence in Brown solidified, this duo can now focus on their on-court business, which could spell trouble for the other 29 teams in the NBA. 3. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns. The duo of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is one that should strike fear into every other team in the NBA. Together, they are two of the best scorers in the NBA right now who are extremely methodical and efficient in their ways. During the 2023 NBA playoffs, Booker showed what he could do with Durant taking a lot of the attention off him. He averaged 33.7 points per game on 58.5% shooting in 11 playoff games after missing 29 games in the regular season. Durant is coming off one of the most efficient seasons in NBA history, as he averaged 29.9 points per game with Brooklyn and Phoenix while shooting with 55-40-90 splits. Heading into their first full season together, the expectation is that the Suns will have the most dangerous offense in the NBA. Not only do defenses need to pick their poison between Booker and Durant, but Bradley Beal also throws a wrench into the equation. With 3 players who have the ability to take over games on the offensive end at any moment, the duo of Booker and Durant could be the overwhelming first-place duo in the NBA by the end of the season. 2. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Denver Nuggets. The defending NBA champions are surely in danger of the dreaded championship hangover, but with these two, it is highly unlikely. First, we have Jamal Murray, who returned in 2022 to 23 from over a year away from the game, recovering from a knee injury. Murray was one of the main catalysts to Denver's championship run last season, with late-game heroics and smooth shot creation absolutely demoralizing opponents. Of course, Denver's entire attack on the offensive end runs through Nikola Jokic, the 2-time MVP who has become one of the greatest centers in NBA history over the last 4 seasons. With his elite passing, playmaking, and scoring, Jokic has snatched away the best player in the world rights, which were intensified by his finals MVP performance in 2023. We already know what this duo can accomplish when they are at their best and performing at an elite level. They have already proven they are more than worthy of NBA championship talk. What remains to be seen is if they are worthy of repeat champions discussion that is sure to follow them all season long. Something tells me they will answer those challenges in full force as well. 1. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, Milwaukee Bucks. The most dangerous duo in the NBA was formed. This duo is what we can imagine a duo of Reggie Miller and Sock would have looked like. How about Jerry West and Wilt in his prime? Either way, Milwaukee is set to bring together one of the greatest long-range shooters in NBA history and the most dominant force in the NBA today. With Giannis in his prime coming off an MVP caliber season of 31.1 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game, and Lillard coming off a season in which he averaged a career-high 32.2 points per game, the expectations at this moment have to be championship or bust. As NBA fans, we love all things shiny and new, and the prospect of these two joining forces are both of those things to the fullest extent. Now, as our number 1 duo in the NBA, let's hope they deliver on those expectations. Like and subscribe if you like this video.